Hi, Kevin Coop here, and this is FaceTime with the Content Guy. I'm coming to you from Manchester, New Hampshire. I'm outside. It's a little cold, but quite frankly, rather be outside where it's a little cold than inside in my hotel room. Because if I were in my hotel room, I'd probably want to turn on the TV. And if you're in New Hampshire and you turn on the TV right now, all you're going to see is political advertising. And once you've watched the political advertising, you want to take a shower. So, quite frankly, I'd rather be outside in the cold. I'm here because I was here this week because I spent some time with the New Hampshire Grocers Association, where I had a chance to do a couple of sessions. And one of the sessions had to do with sort of conducting a Socratic dialogue, if you will, with the people in attendance about what could be learned from the market basket situation. Maybe situation is not the right word, but a lot of stuff happened with Market Basket over the last few months, and I think there's some learnings that we can take from it. Now, I wanted to be really careful because I think, quite frankly, the Market Basket situation was a lot more complicated than some of the local media thought it was, and quite frankly, more complicated than I thought it was in the beginning. I think that neither the RDT Demoulas or RDS Demoulas side, nobody was sinners and nobody was saints. Although I do think it's fair to say when it comes to playing the public relations game, the RDT folks probably did a much better job in terms of communicating both with customers and with the media. And part of the reason they were able to do that was because the RDT folks had the people on the front lines on their side. And that's what I really wanted to focus on in this session. How do you make sure that you have in your business, and your retail business, such a connection with the front lines and have the people on the front lines feeling totally invested in your vision and your mission? And I think that's something that clearly was happening at Market Basket. They were totally invested in the RDT vision and the RDT mission, and that's one of the reasons I think he was able to win in the end. And basically, while that's what happened at Market Basket, I think there are a lot of other companies that do an excellent job at making sure people are invested in the business, the people on the front lines. You could talk about a three-store chain like Dorothy Lane Market. You could talk about a company like Winco, which is much, much bigger, but everybody on the front lines is invested in that business. You can talk about companies like Costco. You can talk about companies like Zappos. And listen, my friend Jim Donald, who has been the CEO of Pathmark, of Starbucks, and now is the CEO of Extended Stay Hotels. I mean, a core value for him, and every company where he has been the leader, has been to communicate with the front lines on a constant basis to make sure that they understood the overall strategy, that they felt committed and invested in the business. And he does that all the time. He gives them news updates. He listens and solicits their opinions. He just wants to give them a pep talk. He wants to connect with them because he understands that's an incredibly important thing to do in every customer-facing business. So basically the question that I raised to the New Hampshire grocers was this, is, do your employees, do they feel like they're an asset or do they feel like they're a cost? And what are you doing to encourage those feelings either way? And if your employees feel like they're a cost, is that how you want them to feel? And what do you need to do, or what do you think you ought to do, to remedy that situation? Now listen, my feelings on this are pretty clear. I just think that every retail business, every customer-facing business is better off if the people on the front lines are smart and committed and invested and, appropriately compensated so they feel like they're a part of the business. Now, there will be people who disagree with that. I get emails from these folks all the time. There will be people out there who will say, no, not every retail business is like that. Sometimes in your retail business, it doesn't really matter. But you know something? I think that's nonsense. I think that's a load of crap. I think every retail business is better off in the long run with people on the front lines who are committed and invested and feel like an asset to the business, not just a cost. But listen, you're free to disagree, but that's what's on my mind. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.